Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello there, Chick Chatters. We are here with Haley today. She is our next guest. She's my cousin, so she's going to be joining us for our story of the week today.
Hello, guys.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Being
Thank
here.
you for having me.
Today, our theme is family stuff. And this story is from about 3 years ago. It is titled My 27 Female Cousin 27 Female. So they're both 27. Confess that she's in love with my husband, 29 male. She's currently living with us, and I have no idea how to act.
What?
Well, for one, I throat punched the bitch. For two, I'd
Throat
kick her out of my house. For three, I'd be in jail because I'd beat her ass. For four, I'd teach her a lesson. Yeah.
Haley,
Right.
this is just the title.
I don't like the title. I have a family member that I'm having like pictures and thoughts of that happening, and yikes.
So it says,
All right. Go on if you
okay,
must.
it's not too long. Okay, so it's kind of short. It says, literally what the title says. My cousin has been living with us for the past 4 months long with her toddler, so she can save up to get her own place. Yesterday, whilst my husband was out, she asked me if we could talk. I thought she was going to ask me if she could stay a little bit longer. The original plan was just for 6 months. But instead, she gave me a long speech about how she was in love with my husband, how she tried to make the feelings go away, but they keep getting stronger, and how she thinks he might be her soulmate. She kept apologizing and said that when she sees him with her son, she knows her family is complete. And he could offer her and her son stability that they need. I was honestly so shocked. I just said, I need time to process this. I've been avoiding her since. My husband has been hauled up in his office working, so he hasn't noticed anything weird yet. I think I'm still reeling from the shock. I can't even ask her to move out because her family disowned her when she had a baby out of wedlock. I haven't told anyone in real life yet because I know they're just all going to tell me to kick her out, but I can't make my nephew homeless during a pandemic. What do I do? This is in relationship advice from Reddit.
Just no. You just like there. No. Does she want to be like a sister wife? Is this what she was trying to introduce? This whole like my family feels so complete. Does she want to be a sister wife?
I don't know if I could have had just that conversation with her and ended it with, I gotta process this. I would have had way too many questions. Like, are you asking me to get a divorce? Or
My thing is, how can your husband be so preoccupied he has no idea what's going on? And this person is fully and madly in love to say the point that this person is the one for them and their family is complete. I feel like the husband has been participating in some way, shape, or form.
well, so I wonder if she said that though because this conversation had just happened and it seems like he was working in a different room at the time, so maybe he doesn't know this had just happened.
Okay.
Because it sounds like she's like posting this not long after it happened, but I'm not sure.
Maybe. But yeah, if he's just like completely clueless to the whole I don't know. I just think that it's fishy. One person could fall in love and another person could have no idea about it. There's got to be something going on unless she's just watching him with her kid and falling in love. It's gross. I'm unimpressed.
She wants that kid to call him daddy.
It's crazy to me because okay, so this is her cousin, so maybe they're close because they're close in age. So maybe they grew up very close because I mean a lot of our family is like that. A lot of our cousins are like the same age, so like we grew up. I have a cousin that's 30 also the exact same age as me. Like we're only 6 months apart.
Yeah, I have a cousin whose birthday is like 12 days before mine too, but that doesn't mean I'd be asking to be their sister wife.
No.
I don't know. I get like I'm all about open, transparent communication, but move yourself out of the house and don't say anything about it ever again and stay as far away from the husband as you can.
Mhm.
That's the only way to be a good person. You don't drop that bomb on them. You don't introduce all these questions and fears and concerns and help me because I'm poor. No, you find a way to get you and your son out of that situation and you never bring it up again and you stay far away from him. That's the only way to be a good person. And That's it.
Go to jail. I would. I'd fuck a bitch up if they tried taking Kyle. Cut. Mm-mm.
Haley's choosing violence.
Game over, bitch.
I'm not gonna lie though, I think I would laugh at first because I'm just one of those people that also laughs when they're nervous, but I don't think I could take it seriously at first. I'd be like,
You're
this
joking, right?
I don't think I could
True.
take it seriously at all. I know I would laugh.
Yeah.
But then when I realized it's serious, I think I'd have so many questions first.
But just think like they're sleeping in the room and she's just peeking her little head in like, that's how he sleeps at night. Like, I'm thinking,
Yeah.
no.
Maybe she's just fantasizing about how they interact and stuff. Yeah. Like
No. That's
This is
so
a
weird.
Lifetime movie right here.
I would not be able to live on, like, I'm sorry. It's a pandemic, whatever the times and like things were, but I would not be able to live under the same roof as that person after that.
Mhm.
For exactly that reason. Like, I wouldn't even be able to be comfortable around my husband, like to be comfortable around her, obviously, is a whole nother different ball. Like, no. And that's your home. Like, that's where your sanity is. So I'm sorry, but you violated the biggest, most red-lined boundary that there is. And to go as far as to like fall in love, like this again, the second you start to think, maybe I'm fantasizing about this guy, or maybe I have feelings, you leave. Just go. Take yourself out of the situation if you're a good person. That's it. There's a whole marriage here, and this is your cousin. Like, this is no.
it's icky.
It's not okay.
Sounds like you were probably also standing in their wedding or something too.
Unless she's trying to introduce some kind of sister-wife scenario, which I don't think they're open to, then this is not okay. There's no way that this is okay.
There's no way the sister wife scenario is legit.
I mean, that's the only way that you can justify being like, yeah, I'm in love with your husband. What should we do about this? Like,
Yeah.
the only way to fix that is to open it up or close it up. So close it up. If it's not open, it's closed.
So the top comment says, I mean, did she expect you to excuse yourself from the relationship so she could have him? What the
That's what I mean. Why even tell her? That information is basically irrelevant to her unless she's expecting something. Like, get your things, get your child, go out there in that pandemic and fend for your own damn self. I'm sorry. You should have drew more boundaries for yourself in the first place. If you have a good thing going here with your housing situation, you should have just stayed away from that man. Like,
I can't imagine.
So the next comment also says she hopes the feelings are mutual with the husband. She tells her husband if the husband is into the cousin now, he knows that he can get with her if he wants to. By telling the wife first, she can spin it as she did the right thing by telling the wife first. It's a bad look than just putting the moves on the husband behind her back. If the husband isn't into her at all, it also gets her off the hook a bit because telling the wife is slightly less terrible than hitting on him. Scummy, manipulative people plan stuff out 3 moves ahead.
Wow. Okay, so that was, just to be clear, that was all like a trajectory. None of those things actually happened. She was just like playing that out.
What do you mean?
The person that commented, she was just playing that out for herself.
Yeah.
Some of those things scared me. I was like, no, that's true. Scummy and manipulative people do plan things out very far in advance. So I'm sure she had some kind of intention or, something in telling her that. And that's why, again, I'm like, why sit her down? There was something she was trying to get from that conversation of sitting her down and telling her that I'm in love with your husband. And also, I don't plan to do anything to change that or move myself out. That's so ridiculous.
In an edit, she says, I wrote it in the comments already, but just to add, she claims that she's had these feelings for at least 4 years, and they've just grown so strong recently that she couldn't keep it in anymore. Also, her son is 18 months. So he's just doing like the nice thing that you would do for a family member if you lived in the house with them and an 18-month-old, which is like, kind of helping. She must be reading into it like a nut job.
How do you living there? That's what I'm trying to figure. Like, if this girl moved in knowing full well that she had even just this many feelings for that man, and my fingers are just about touching, you should not move in there. I don't care. I literally don't care.
4 years is a long time to be crushing on your cousin's husband.
And that's basically your cousin.
Yeah.
That's like me having a crush on
Yeah, be like you having a crush on my husband, or be like,
yeah, if you were to move down to Texas and then all of a sudden sit Ann down and be like, I'm in love with Dean.
All right,
Me and my
Ann,
baby, we staying
I'll
here.
tell you something. I'm moving to Texas next month and I need somewhere to stay.
I would laugh so hard though if one of my cousins literally did take me aside and say that. I don't even think like I'd film it. I think I would. I wouldn't believe it. I'd be like, Dean,
You hear this?
That's
I'd
the
have
thing about
to-
people who fall in love with people's husbands. It's like, I don't know. I get that she's living there and everything, but like, you don't take care of this man. You don't know what it's really like to be with him. You just see, he cares for the kids. He goes to work, he comes home. What a nice man. Like, you're not folding his clothes, smelling his stinky laundry, like scrubbing none of his nasty toilets. You're not doing that.
Well, okay, and they're in the same family, right? So what does this girl think like her best outcome's gonna be? She gets with this husband and then what, the rest
Sister
of her
wives.
family is just gonna accept this? Like she's gonna get trolled by the rest of her family for the rest of her life.
Sister wives. That's the only viable option for her. I don't know why she didn't introduce it at the time.
She should be embarrassed of herself.
She should.
I don't know. There's gotta be something going on with her. Like
If you have a soul, do you really move in with your cousin and a man that you know that you have even this many feelings for? You don't. You just don't. No.
Sister, wife, and wannabe.
Yeah.
So she does have an update. It says, I spoke to my husband. He was shocked and a little bit uncomfortable. He
No.
apologized and said he didn't mean to give her the wrong impression. Neither of us are quite sure what we're going to do yet since he doesn't want to leave my nephew homeless. We're discussing it. I wasn't going to update until we'd solved the issue, but literally every comment is telling me to tell him. So just to let you guys know, I have.
Well, of course she needs to tell him.
I mean, that would have been the first thing I did.
So she told him and he's a little uncomfortable. I kind of side-eyed the whole idea of he apologizes if he gave her the wrong impression. Again, that just makes me feel like there's something a little bit off about their interactions. To fall in love with somebody is a heavy thing, unless her cousin is like really emotionally unstable. Like just to fall in love with someone over the course of 4 years is like there had to have been more to the story there. But either way, it's not okay. No, just no.
I think they smooched on the lips. They had to have. Once
kinda-
upon a time, not long ago, he was a hoe.
He might have been a hoe.
I'm trying to read her comments or find some of her comments. One of her comments was that she said that the cousin said it was more like, I'm sorry, but he's X, Y, and Z, and I just can't help the way I feel, and we'd be so happy together. So, okay, somebody commented first, and I know it hurts to think about this. Do you think your husband has been leading her on or reciprocating her feelings? Did she seem to think he did? I would talk to him and ask him if she said anything to him or if something is going on that you think you should know about. And the OP said, well, she gave me examples of things he had apparently done that proved they were soulmates. Like, and she has a list of bullet points. So this is her cousin's list of love, her love list. She says, he buys her son a lot of gifts, so he's the perfect daddy material. He comforts her son when he cries and is one of the only people who can get him to calm down. He volunteers to watch her son whenever she needs to go and do an errand if I'm not available. He said he'd love to have a baby soon, so it means he wants to be his dad. They like the same shows and have the same hobbies, and he laughs at her jokes. You get the idea.
Okay, everything about the baby thing is like regular family stuff. Taking care of your kids, watching your kids, sometimes without, maybe most times without being paid. Like that's stuff you do for your family.
Well, and this kid's 18 months, and this is his only male figure in the house, right?
Right.
So
That's just normal things. And any man can provide that. It doesn't have to be that one. She's not even in love with him. She just likes to see a supportive man around, this poor girl, but it's not your cousin's husband.
I think I would, beat my cousin's ass. I would. And I'd tell her that she's delusional and she needs to go see God, and I'd help her find God.
Through a concussion.
Yeah.
She makes me mad.
How do you go forward? Like, how's Christmas? Like, do you just not get with this cousin anymore and you just kind of ride them off? Like, I just have so many questions for how this goes forward. Did they kick her out of the house? There's literally nowhere else this girl can go.
She can go to the homeless shelter by herself and they can like take her baby for a little while. She can come visit every single day while the husband's at work. Like, I don't know. And again, it's not anyone else's responsibility to moderate this whole weird love affair she has going on that's apparently one-sided, but I'm not convinced. But it's not anyone's job to deal with this. This is her child. This is her life situation. She's what, 20 something, 23?
They're both 27.
Live on your own. You're 28. You have a child. Figure it out. Get it together. No, just no.
About her work situation. So the cousin is working part-time, but she wasn't able to work for 3 months because of the lockdown. So this must have happened during COVID. So that might explain some of the living stuff, I guess. But I mean, there's got to be a family member, someone else you can drop her off with. Like, there's got to be someone.
And if you're that in that desperate of a situation, truly, and you are in love with that man, like, I don't know, just keep it to yourself, I guess, until you can get the fuck out and stay away. Again, just stay away from him. Just stop all of this. Go out a lot, take your baby to the park, find a hobby, do something to get yourself out of the house. Stop accepting gifts. Like, tell him, we don't thank you, but no thank you. I don't know. This person's obviously not a good person. So I don't know why I'm making suggestions.
She has commented quite a few times, it seems, the OP. I'm not going to read every single one, but someone did ask where the father of the child is. And she said he was an ONS, so she has no idea who he is. She doesn't really have any other support system. What's an ONS?
I don't know.
One night stand.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Okay. So she doesn't know who he is.
Okay.
Again, that's irrelevant. That doesn't change anything.
Maybe the dude was her one night stand, and maybe they're both.
That's what
keeping
I'm
it a
saying.
secret.
Like, someone needs to figure out who this baby daddy really is. Like, I need a DNA test now.
Yeah, we got 23 and me's now. DNA test that baby. Find
At
out
least just make sure it's
origin.
not the cousin's husband. Because
Yeah.
then we have a real sister-wife situation afoot.
This girl's been in love with him for 4 years and this baby's 18 months old. I mean, it's not impossible. I'm just saying. But
I know
hope
a good TV show we could put them on. I'm sorry, you are
Here
not
on this
the
channel.
father.
cousins being sister wives, though, is just so crazy to me.
They were talking about sisters being sister wives, so why not?
Yeah, I guess it's one of the things that they do.
I don't know. It
really makes family gatherings in the future uncomfortable because then, for the most part, when there are fallouts in families, like, people get word. So, like, what, you're gonna go to the family function and your aunt's gonna bring up your cousin in love with your husband in front of your grandma?
Yeah, people be spilling the tea in families, so you know this is all gonna
Oh
come
yeah,
out.
they do.
This would be a huge joke at my family table. I wouldn't be going to family functions for probably ever.
She should never show their faces again.
I mean, you're going to hear about it no matter what time.
Whenever you show up to the family table, no matter how many years it's been, that's gonna be what comes up.
Every time. So how are you and your cousin's husband doing?
We're one big happy family.
All under one roof?
So I guess, what would your advice be to OP for her cousin and her situation?
Tell the cousin to get the HE hockey stick out of the house.
I agree. And I would have told her, like, if you really cared about our family, you would have just left and done this all on your own without inflicting all this crazy emotional disturbances on us in your psychotic ways. No.
You kept this
Get
to
out.
yourself.
Be
Kept this to
lucky if
yourself.
you escape without violence.
They might be about to start. I mean, they're 27. They could start trying for kids at any point in time. So, and this guy's been around for at least 4 years. So they're pretty serious and they're married. I wouldn't be barking up that tree. I think that's a long shot. Unless y'all been having an affair on the side, it's really just such a long shot to even ask the wife. I don't even understand why she even attempted it. Like,
Right.
you know, your cousin.
I
You know
do
that-
have questions for the husband, but other than that, no. I think she needs to get on. She needs to go. She needs to take her baby. She's 27 years old. It's time to live your life. You're not marrying this cousin's husband. He's married already. So go find your cousin husband, whatever he is.
Or just find a different family member to cousin husband mooch off of.
Find your third cousin's husband, then it really don't matter.
Yeah, get a little bit further off the family tree and maybe they'll talk.
Our advice is basically to just
Kick her out.
Kick her out. You gotta get rid of her. You can't live in a home with her like that. Like, do you really think there's any other option?
There's no other option. Kick her out. Sorry about your baby.
Like,
The baby.
I'll keep the baby even if you need
Yeah.
it. Me to.
If you need the baby to have a safe place to live. It will
While
be
you
here.
figure this out,
You
like
can come and collect the baby from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and drop it off. You go find a damn homeless shelter for yourself and, let us know when you get your living situation
Mhm.
figured out.
right, and you're only gonna get this baby from me. Like, you ain't gonna be talking to my husband. We're gonna keep you as far away from my husband as possible.
You ain't even looking at my husband.
I hope this husband is being like truthful and doesn't really understand what the hell's going on and is shocked,
Me too.
because that would really be crappy to find out that he's been kind of giving her signals to even begin with.
Otherwise, that girl needs to take her own self without her baby, get as far away from her cousin and her husband as possible, and let them be cousin husbands. Yeah, I don't know. The way it's presented right now, no.
It reminds me of that story of Naya Rivera, who she was on Glee, but she passed away in like a boat or something and under mysterious.
She drowned it, and her 5-year-old son was on the boat by himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
So her ex-husband, who has her son now, is with her sister, and they are dating and together and have been together since she passed away.
I f***ed your sister and had a kid with your sister, but let me just f*** you.
That's basically what's kind of going on over there. I think they're still together. Like, they've been together for years. I don't know for sure, allegedly, but just saying. That just reminded me of that. It just gives me the ick. Just leave your family members, significant others alone and their exes and stuff. It's just so messy.
It's
so-
messy. Kick her out. Leave her alone. I don't want to hear from her anymore. I don't want to talk to her anymore.
This guy even gives you an inkling that he's in on this, then run from that too, because you don't want to be tied down to this guy with a baby or something, and he's been messing with your cousin.
No,
So you need some conversations. I would be going to therapy a little bit over this too, I think.
a little.
There's some things to talk out for sure.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Chick Chatters, and thank you again, Haley, for showing up again for us.
Thank you for
Nice
letting me by here.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we can have you back sometime.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.